Boom! Welcome back to Boom Rugby for more rugby facts, insights and also reviews. 2 rounds of Six Nations has been done and dusted, and what an exciting turn of events throughout the games that have been played. So let's do some recap and where it will go from here. Ready? Let's go! Before we go on my review for the second round, let's recap 5 moments from the first round.
5,
Scotland haven't won in Twickenham for over 40 years, and the victory against England was monumental as their defensive effort and discipline land them the Calcutta Cup this year.
4,
The average age for the Italian team was 24 years old. They really have a young team, but talented players such as Jack Polidori, Paolo Garbisi and Stephen Varney shows signs of potential to shine for the Azuris.
3,
At 35 years old, Alun Wyn Jones still shows that he can produce great performance for the Wales team, and he can still play for the Lions this year.
2,
Peter O'Mahony was red-carded because of a clumsy clear-out during the game against Wales. It shows how strict the rugby laws now to protect players from long-term head injury.
1,
And last, the magic of Antoine Dupont. With a try and 2 assist try, he shows us some great skills and performance for the French team. So we have all caught up. Let's go for my review for the second round of Six Nations. Let's start with the latest game, Ireland versus France. I'm getting my notes here. Alright, so with the thrashing of Italy in the first round, France met with a tougher opponent in Dublin. Ireland was quite dominant with possessions and territory in the France 22, and they were quite good in their set pieces. But there is a disconnection between between the backs and the forwards, and the lack of control shown by the Irish halfbacks and midfield was concerning. And the inaccurate and dreadfully slow passing of Jamison Gibson Park killed Ireland's chance of creating good attacking moves. On the other hand, France was not at their best in terms of discipline, with around 9 or 10 penalties conceded. I think the pivotal of France's win is the partnership of Matthew Gilbert and also Antoine Dupont. They are the bridge between the backs and the forwards. They were compelling all day, and the magic of Dupont with no-looks passes and also devastating breaks inspired the French team to hold their ground to win the game with the score of 15-13. Scotland was in a very jolly good mood going into the second round of the Six Nations with their win against England. This is a typical physical affair against when Scotland and Wales meet, but with some performance of great plays and class from both teams. Scotland was in control with the score of 17-8, but the turning point was a disallowed try due to obstruction and also the red card of Zander Ferguson due to illegal clear-out. And Liam Williams scored shortly after Ferguson dismissal, and that was the second week that Wales played against a 14-man for a long period of time. It was not all bad for Scotland, as Stuart Hogg was outstanding for the Scottish with 2 tries and commanding his team from the back, creating havoc with his kicking and running game. Wales coach Wayne Pivac was heavily criticised and also scrutinised since he took over from Warren Gatland. Even though Wales was fortunate to win a couple of games with red cards, we also see some improvement with strong set pieces and also being slightly composed when they had ball in hand. Louis Rees-Zammit really took the chance of his starting role and produced some great qualities in the wings. Again, Wales was lucky to get a 24-25 win, and let's see what they can do when they face England next. Italy, the black sheep of the Six Nations, and they were dubbed just not good enough for the tournament. But after 2 games, I don't think it was all that bad, with very promising effort from the young talents that they had. Their sharp handling and intensity at the breakdown and some excellent plays from Gabisi at 10 shows that they can produce great tries and open plays. Eddie Jones England shows some improvement from their last game against England. Their scrum was more balanced with Carl Sinclair and also Luke Cowan-Dickey at the front row. The attacking effort of Sinclair and also Courtney Laws shows a massive shift in gain line and making valuable meters. Owen Farrell's performance at 10 was quite bad, and Jones' decision to put Josh Ford at 10 give the backline more creative options with his short passes and also options for the forwards to power through the line. With 41-18 win, England are back in the winning ways, but there are more tougher opponents waiting to pound on them. At the end of round 2, France are sharing 9 points with Wales. England might have a chance to leapfrog if they can win against Wales and France in the next 2 rounds. But looking at the performance, I would still say France to stay on top and chasing a Grand Slam win. For round 3, we will have Italy versus Ireland, Wales versus England, and France versus Scotland this weekend. This week's game could decide who will be in the running to win this year's Six Nations. So that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, tackle the subscribe button to know more about rugby facts, insights, and also reviews. Till the next video, boom!